to Deep Sleep Stories. Thank you to everyone who's been listening. If these stories help you relax or fall asleep, a short review, comment, or sharing the podcast with someone who might benefit is a simple and meaningful way to support the show so that we may continue to offer it for free. Now, take a slow, gentle breath and let's begin tonight's story.
Welcome to Deep Sleep Stories, a gentle haven where you are invited to set aside the cares of the day and drift into peaceful slumber. As you settle into your most comfortable position, perhaps with a blanket drawn over your shoulders or a soft pillow behind your head, notice how your breath feels. Here on the edges of wakefulness, you can simply allow your body to rest, your muscles to loosen, and your busy mind to soften. Tonight, you will journey through a winter landscape, a hidden footpath where twinkling snowflakes light the way. Let this quiet tale offer you a tranquil space where tension dissolves and serenity gently takes its place. Take a moment now to close your eyes, if they aren't closed already. Notice the gentle rise and fall of your chest. Inhale slowly through your nose, letting your lungs fill with nourishing air. Exhale with ease, allowing your body to relax a little more every time you breathe out. Imagine a soft, warm glow at the center of your chest, radiating outward, calming your limbs and reassuring your mind. Each inhalation fills you with soothing energy, and each exhalation carries away any lingering tension. You are safe here, in this quiet space where time seems to slow and the pressures of the day begin to fade into the background. Feel the gentle weight of your eyelids growing heavier, your brow smoothing out. There's nowhere you need to be and nothing you need to do but rest. Let the soft hush of the evening cradle you, like a mother cradles her sleeping child. The world beyond your window can wait for another time. Right now, you deserve this peace, this sense of stillness that hums like a distant lullaby. Notice how the rhythm of your breath guides you, slowly, gently, into a realm where your senses find rest. And now, let your thoughts drift as we move into the story, allowing every detail to flow in and out effortlessly, as if carried on a gentle breeze. Far away from bustling roads, a single lantern glows on the front porch of a humble cottage. It is evening in this wintry world, and snow descends from the sky in soft, shimmering flurries. Inside the cottage, a traveler sits by the hearth, warming cold hands by the dancing flames. The traveler, having arrived on a quiet afternoon, found themselves enchanted by the hush of the countryside and the promise of a hidden footpath that leads deeper into the snow-blanketed forest. Though the cottage is cozy and warm, the traveler's heart gently tugs toward the silvery twilight, beckoning them to step outside and experience the drifting flakes beneath the open sky. The cottage door opens with a soft creak, and a swirl of gentle winter air ushers the traveler out into the night. The first breath of cold stings the traveler's cheeks, but not unkindly. It is a bracing freshness, a reminder of the crisp purity of the air. Snowflakes, almost weightless, flutter downward, catching the faint glow from the lantern's light. Their tiny crystals sparkle in midair, each an intricate masterpiece of nature's design. The traveler stands still for a moment, letting the hush wash over them. In the hush, every sound is softened. Footsteps on the snow create a muffled crunch, and even the breeze through the frosted pines seems muted, as though nature is whispering a gentle lullaby. At the edge of the garden, a small gate opens onto the hidden footpath. The traveler has heard tales of this path, a winding trail that meanders through a peaceful woodland, where tall evergreens stand sentry and fallen logs sometimes serve as resting spots. Tonight there is an almost magical stillness in the forest. The snow, freshly fallen, blankets the ground in a flawless sheet of white, unbroken except for the occasional print of a fox or a rabbit. The sky above is clouded in places, yet through parting gaps, distant stars send down silvery rays that glimmer upon the snow. The traveler feels a gentle thrill. It is as if the whole forest has been arranged for this moment, awaiting a quiet exploration under a canopy of twinkling winter stars. The traveler begins to walk, each step landing softly. Every movement yields a subdued crunch that rises through the quiet. In the darkness, the bare branches of slender birch trees reach out like silver skeletons, their smooth bark reflecting even the faintest starlight. Now and then, a small breeze stirs the highest branches of the pines, causing a tender sprinkling of snow to drift down in a shimmering curtain. The traveler pauses from time to time, drawn in by the mesmerizing play of shadows, the silent ballet of snowflakes dancing in the air, and the indescribable hush that is both comforting and profound. Farther along, the traveler notices a slight bend in the path where the trees part ways, revealing a clearing. At the center stands an ancient spruce, its boughs weighed gently by the snow. The lower branches, dipped in crystalline flakes, form a graceful arc, almost like a natural archway. The traveler steps beneath this arch, entering a space that feels older, quieter, and deeply serene, as though time here moves at a softer pace. There is a glimmer of moonlight filtering through the dense canopy, making the snow crystals sparkle like tiny diamonds. With each step forward, the traveler's breath billows in soft white puffs, and the hush of the winter forest envelops them like a comforting cloak. A little while later, the traveler notices that the footpath, though still meandering, seems to narrow. The gentle slope of a small hill appears in the distance, dappled with shadows and moonlight. Climbing it takes only a few moments, but once at the crest, the traveler is greeted by a truly breathtaking scene. A shallow valley opens below, filled with tall evergreens that sway in the mild wind. Moonlight bathes the treetops, and the snow-laden branches gleam faintly. Soft gusts send snow drifting like glittering dust motes, and the forest floor lies undisturbed except for the occasional trace of animal tracks. The traveler inhales deeply, savoring the crisp clarity of the moment, allowing the lungs to fill with the cool, invigorating air that feels cleaner than any breath before it. Descending into the valley, the path gently curves around large boulders wrapped in moss and snow. Tufts of tall grass peek through, shimmering with tiny crystals of frost. Each blade, though fragile, stands resolute against winter's hush, waiting for a gentler season to come. The traveler, stepping carefully, notices the snow crunch beneath the soles of warm boots and feels grateful for the layers that keep out the cold. There's a sense of wonder in the air, a feeling that the forest itself might be listening, breathing quietly alongside its solitary visitor. At the heart of the valley, the traveler spots an old wooden footbridge spanning a narrow, meandering stream. Though partially frozen, the stream's surface glimmers with patches of starlight and moonlight. Sections of water still flow beneath a delicate crust of ice, creating a soft, trickling sound that mingles with the hush of the woods. The traveler steps onto the bridge, pausing at the midpoint to lean on the railing. The water below moves gently, swirling around rocks and broken twigs that have collected near the bank. Snowflakes float on the surface before dissolving into the cold current. Standing there, the traveler closes their eyes for a moment, listening to the quiet lull of water, the gentle rustling of tree limbs overhead, and the distant call of a night bird somewhere far beyond sight. On the other side of the bridge, the hidden footpath continues deeper among the silent trees, winding across a gentle rise and fall of snowy knolls. The deeper one walks into this forest, the more it seems to open up into small pockets of moonlit clearings. One clearing reveals a series of stones standing in a rough circle, as though placed there in forgotten times. Another clearing has a single tall oak tree stretching its knotted branches skyward, every twig outlined in a soft coat of white. The traveler steps lightly, as though reluctant to disturb the immaculate calm of this place. Snow gathers gently on coat sleeves, and each exhalation forms a swirl of steam that rises into the chill air. Occasionally, a distant rustle hints at a woodland creature going about its nocturnal routine. Maybe a red fox scampers behind snow-laden bushes, or a pair of owls watch from a lofty perch, their silent gaze tracing the traveler's path. There is comfort in these small signs of life. Far from feeling alone, the traveler senses the presence of the forest's subtle community, each living being mindful of the winter hush that envelops them all. This sense of unity with nature feels deeply reassuring, like a soft note from a lullaby, resonating through the quiet spaces of the mind. Moving onward, the traveler notices a gentle slope that climbs to another vantage point. The path is narrower here, surrounded by tall fir trees huddled closely together. Snow clings to every needle, and occasionally a clump tumbles downward, sending a miniature shower of icy powder onto the footpath. At the top of this slope, the traveler finds a small bench fashioned from rough-hewn timber. It seems lovingly placed here, perhaps by some kind soul who wished to savor the view below. The traveler sweeps a light dusting of snow from the seat and settles down, letting muscles rest, breathing in the crisp night air. From this vantage point, a wide swath of the winter forest unfolds in gentle undulations of snow and trees. The sky overhead is clearer now, revealing a scattering of stars, bright enough to shimmer in the traveler's gaze. Some are faint pinpoints of light, while others shine with a soft brilliance, almost reflecting off the blanket of snow below. The hush is profound, broken only by the quiet sigh of the wind weaving through the branches. In that soothing stillness, thoughts begin to soften and slow. The traveler sits quietly, filled with gratitude for the moment and a deep sense of peace that extends beyond words. After a while, a subtle shift in the sky hints that time is passing. A pale glow, not quite dawn, but a sign that the night is maturing, bathes the treetops. Perhaps it is the moon moving across the heavens, shining its beams from a new angle. Feeling the invitation to move forward once more, the traveler stands, stepping off the bench and following the path as it trails downhill. The crunch underfoot is constant and steady, an almost rhythmic sound that soothes the mind. Snow continues to fall, though softly and in smaller, glittering crystals, as if the sky itself is gently humming. Rounding another bend, the traveler sees lantern light flickering between the trees, a welcoming sight in the heart of the forest. Drawn by this soft glow, they follow the path to a small clearing where a modest cabin stands. Tiny icicles dangle from the cabin's eaves, shimmering in the flickering lantern light that hangs by the door. A thin wisp of smoke curls from a stone chimney, carrying with it the faint aroma of burning pine logs. The traveler approaches, curiosity piqued by the inviting glow. Here, one might think to rest a moment, to step inside and warm fingers stiffened by the cold. Near the cabin's entrance, a short log serves as a makeshift seat. A subtle squeak of the wooden steps signals the traveler's presence. No one answers a polite knock, suggesting the place may be empty or merely open for passers-by to shelter if needed. The traveler pushes the door gently. Inside, the cabin is dimly lit by the orange embers of a nearly spent fire in the hearth. There are simple wooden furnishings, a small table, a couple of chairs, and on a shelf, a handful of wooden bowls and cups. A comforting warmth radiates from the remains of the fire, and the traveler closes the door softly, relieved to find respite from the cold for a few moments. A few logs rest beside the hearth, waiting to feed the flames. The traveler carefully places one on the embers, stirring up a little burst of sparks. Soon, the log begins to crackle softly, and the heat renews itself, filling the cabin with a pleasant warmth. The scent of pine smoke mingles with the faint smell of freshly fallen snow that clings to the traveler's coat. Outside, the snow continues to fall, but the glass in the small window reveals only swirling flakes dancing in the moonlight. Inside, the traveler takes a seat in one of the chairs, letting the fingers thaw, the toes relax, and the shoulders drop away from the ears. Warmth seeps through layers of clothing, and for a moment, time seems suspended in this little refuge. As the fire grows stronger, shadows flicker across the wooden walls, dancing as though to a lullaby no one else can hear. The cabin hums with a quiet hush, punctuated by the soft pops of the burning wood. The traveler leans back, resting a tired head against the chair, eyes drifting half closed. A feeling of contentment fills the traveler's chest, as if the forest itself has bestowed a gentle blessing on this winter journey. And so, in that peaceful glow, the traveler contemplates the mysteries of the hidden footpath, the timeless dance of falling snow, and the comforting hush that seems to wrap both body and spirit. Eventually, the traveler senses it is time to move on, lest they doze by the fire and miss out on the rest of the path's secrets. Rising from the chair, the traveler leaves a couple of extra logs near the hearth for the next wanderer who might arrive, seeking shelter. Outside, the snowfall has grown lighter still, drifting in gentle swirls that catch the moon's rays. Securing the cabin door behind them, the traveler steps back into the forest clearing, exhaling into the cold, star-filled night with renewed energy. The footpath continues alongside the cabin, marked by a wooden post half buried in snow. This part of the trail winds among tall cedars, their trunks looming in the pale light. The canopy here is thicker, so the snowfall is gentler, filtering through in small flurries that form a soft dust on the ground below. An occasional hoot of an owl reverberates through the trees, a low, comforting sound that underscores the deep stillness. The traveler presses on, warmed by the memory of the fire and guided by the gentle sparkle of snow underfoot. Before long, a wide, open glade presents itself, encircled by evergreens standing like guardians. In this glade, the footpath disappears under a pristine stretch of snow, making it look like an unbroken white field. The traveler steps carefully, mindful of the hidden path beneath. Each step leaves a perfect footprint behind, soon dusted by new snowflakes drifting from above. The air in this open space is colder, with a faint breeze that kisses the traveler's cheeks. There is a faint rustling in the treetops as though the evergreens are exchanging hushed secrets in the presence of the traveler. A single lonely birch stands near the center of the glade, its bark nearly glowing in the moonlight. The traveler is drawn to it, noticing how the branches sway with quiet grace, shaking loose a few glimmering flakes that spiral downward. Stepping closer, the traveler rests a hand gently against the cool bark. It feels smooth, almost silky, a contrast to the rougher textures of the surrounding pines and spruces. In that simple contact, there is a comforting sense of connection to the forest, a subtle reassurance that though the night is deep and the wind is cold, everything belongs. The trees, the snow, the moonlight, and the gentle presence of a wandering soul are woven together in the tapestry of winter's quiet magic. Moving on from the birch, the traveler spots an ancient stone well near the tree line. Its circular wall is only waist high, with a wooden roof and a broken pulley system that once carried buckets of fresh water to the surface. Snow covers its ledge, turning the stones pure white. Approaching the well, the traveler peers over the edge. Darkness fills the inside, though a faint glint of ice can be seen near the bottom. It seems abandoned, yet the traveler can sense the stories it might hold. Countless buckets drawn in centuries past, weary travelers pausing for refreshment, children playing near its rim. Time stands still around this relic, a silent testament to days long gone. The traveler, respectful of these unseen histories, rests a moment in quiet reflection before stepping away. The path now edges toward a gentle slope that leads out of the glade. The traveler follows its winding course, guided by the luminous backdrop of distant stars. The hush deepens, and the soft crunch of boots on fresh snow becomes a calming metronome. Hints of moonlight glimmer on icy patches, reflecting faint rainbows when the traveler's footsteps shift them. Each snowflake that lands on a sleeve or glove seems to hold its own miniature universe of crystalline geometry, an exquisite design that dissolves in a breath of warmth. As the traveler continues, the forest canopy parts again, revealing an open sky peppered with countless stars. The path curves around a shallow pond, now frozen, its surface smoothed by the gentle pressure of accumulating snow. The traveler pauses by the pond's edge, gazing out at the tranquil expanse of ice. A delicate hush envelops this place, as though the pond itself is holding its breath in winter's tender embrace. Around its perimeter, reeds stand swaying gently, wearing little caps of snow. No ripple disturbs the surface. It is a mirror, catching the faint light from the sky, reflecting a pale glow as though it, too, were part of the heavens. Crossing a narrow stretch of land near the pond, the traveler notices a flicker in the corner of an eye. Beyond a small thicket, the dim outline of another structure emerges. A tiny chapel, perhaps, or a simple shrine nestled among the trees. Curiosity guides the traveler closer. Rough wooden walls, weathered by the elements, show it has stood for many seasons, enduring storms and summers alike. A small wooden door is half open, revealing a single bench inside, and on a narrow shelf, a candle holder. Any candle that once burned here has long since melted away. Inside the shrine, the traveler senses a deep peace, as though countless whispers of hope and gratitude have been left behind by other wanderers. Sheltered from the wind, the quiet is even more profound. There is a stillness in the air that invites reflection, a gentle stirring in the heart that awakens kindness and calm. Perhaps this is why the shrine was built, to offer a moment of quiet respite in the midst of the forest's mysteries. The traveler feels a gentle reverence, placing a hand on the worn bench as if to say a silent thank you to all who have come before. After another silent moment, the traveler steps outside, letting the door remain ajar, just enough to show that this haven remains open for anyone who might need it. The path meanders onward, weaving through shadowy pines and patches of moonlit clearing. There is a sense that each step brings the traveler closer to the forest's heart, that intangible place where quiet wonders dwell. The flicker of starlight on falling flakes, the near silent rustle of pine needles overhead, these small moments merge into a lullaby of winter. Thoughts drift, unhurried. Memories from earlier in the day, or even from days long gone, might surface only to ebb away again, softened by the gentle hush of the woods. Eventually the path rounds a graceful bend and begins a slow ascent toward higher ground. This slope is not steep, but with each step, the traveler can sense a gradual elevation. The trees thin out, allowing the silvery glow of the moon to illuminate the snowy trail more fully. Glancing back, the traveler sees the valley below, the cabins and the patches of woodland that have been traversed. The distant glimmer of the pond and the subtle outlines of tall spruces fade into the darkness as the traveler ascends. But each memory of the journey lingers, etched in the gentle hum of this moonlit forest. Finally, at the top of the rise, the traveler finds a wide clearing that offers a view across the horizon. Here, the moon is luminous, unhindered by heavy clouds. A myriad of stars extends overhead, forming a vast tapestry of light. The traveler stands in awe of the serene panorama, the forest rolling away below, the snow reflecting gentle starlight, and at the edges of the sightline, hills that seem to cradle the sky. In this open clearing, the snowfall has tapered to a light dusting, the flakes sparser yet still twinkling as they descend. A solitary pine stands watch near the clearing's center. The traveler steps toward it, noticing how the branches fan out in an almost protective gesture, a welcome for any creature seeking shelter from the wind. Beneath its boughs lies a soft cushion of fallen needles, topped with a faint layer of snow. The traveler takes a seat there, leaning against the sturdy trunk. The bark is cool to the touch, but it brings a sense of grounding and belonging, as though the tree acknowledges this visitor in silent companionship. Seated at the pine's base, the traveler takes in the hush, breathing steadily. The panorama of snow, forest, and distant sky stretches in every direction, a pure vista that calms and soothes. Perhaps in this moment the traveler drifts into quiet reflection, eyes half closed, lulled by the gentle stillness. Maybe a faint breeze stirs, rustling the pine needles overhead, creating a soothing whisper that resonates with the traveler's own slow, measured breaths. Time feels weightless here, as if each second floats like a snowflake, descending gradually melting into the quiet of the heart. In this tranquil space, the traveler finds a deep relaxation settling over every muscle, from the neck and shoulders down to the toes, warmed by thick socks. A subtle drowsiness seeps in, not urgent but rather comforting, like the tenderness of a soft lullaby. The mind drifts, as though carried on a gentle current. Thoughts become less structured, more fluid, blending with the hush of winter. Each breath brings a sense of release, and with each exhalation, the traveler sinks deeper into that realm between waking and dreaming. Gradually, the story of this hidden footpath feels complete, as though it has guided the traveler to precisely the right spot for rest. The winding trails, the shimmering snow, the comforting hush of the woodland creatures, all have led to this clearing beneath the starry sky. And here, with the pine as a companion, the traveler closes tired eyes, letting the senses float in that lovely in-between place where the air is crisp, the snow is soft, and the spirit is utterly at ease. Now, in the stillness of this nighttime scene, imagine that the traveler's eyelids begin to drift shut entirely. The forest cradles the weary soul, wrapping all in a blanket of quiet. A light breeze passes, and the traveler, gently slouched against the pine, breathes with a tranquil rhythm that mirrors the sleeping woodland. The hush descends further, even the distant owl calls fade. Snow continues to fall in gentle flurries, a lullaby of drifting crystals, coaxing every living being into the deep repose of a winter's dream. Let each breath draw you too into that restful state, as if you are seated beneath that pine, feeling the soft snow beneath your feet, the hush around you. Feel your body grow heavier against the surface you rest on, whether it's a bed, a couch, or a favorite chair. There is no rush. You are safe. The hush of the forest with its snow-laden boughs enfolds you. Any lingering tensions dissolve. Muscles soften, eyelids become delicate and weighty, gently easing closed. With each exhalation, you travel farther into a calm, quiet realm, a place of slow, serene contentment. Listen to the soft whisper of your breath, steady and rhythmic, the way the forest breathes. Let it lull you as the traveler was lulled by the gentle hush of the hidden footpath. Let your mind glide on the soft currents of imagination, picturing drifting snowflakes glimmering in starlight, each one carrying you deeper into rest. There is nothing you need to do or think, only to rest in this cocoon of winter's gentle presence. Feel a soothing warmth spreading across your body, as though a gentle fire flickers nearby. Your arms grow heavier, your legs sink more deeply into your mattress or cushion. The quiet hush of night seeps into your thoughts, and all that remains is a peaceful silence. In this silence, any cares of the day slip away, carried off by the same breeze that stirs the snowy branches. Let yourself drift. The traveler in the story, having discovered that magical place beneath the tall pine, rests fully now, enveloped by the profound quiet of the forest night. Snow continues to fall softly. Stars continue to shimmer, but the traveler's eyes remain closed in gentle slumber. Peace radiates through the scene, an unspoken promise that there is always a hidden footpath in the heart, leading to solace and calm. Here, at the end of this dreamlike journey, you are free to surrender to sleep, lulled by the memory of moonlit snow and the cradle of serene woods. Good night, dear traveler. Sleep well, and may your dreams be filled with a gentle glow of twinkling snowfall, guiding you ever toward rest and renewal. In this quiet realm, you are safe and at peace, gently drifting into the stillness of a winter's dream. May slumber wrap you in its warmth, carrying you through the night in calm and comfort. Sleep now in the hush of this tranquil story, and awaken refreshed when the morning light appears. Good night and sweet dreams.